Hey, y'all from Tennessee. Welcome to the State and Beal podcast. This is the place where we celebrate Tennessee, the volunteer state, the Big Bend state, the hog and hominy state. My name is Toby Sells, host and producer on this show. I'm also the founder and editor of State and Beal, an online magazine and hub for Tennessee lifestyles. Head over to stateandbeal.com and check out the winter issue. We'll talk about that here in just a few. While you're there, please drop me your email address so you can get a little Tennessee love in your inbox every single week. All right, now this is kind of a rowdy version of State and Beal this week. I'm in between office spaces right now and am recording most of this out in public. Talk about being that guy. I am that guy, but if the sound is a little off this week, that's why. Later in the show, I talk with Jessica Hall. She's the executive director of the American Eagle Foundation. That's out in East Tennessee with their new main headquarters in Kodak. But if you've watched NFL football at all this season, you've likely seen one of the foundation's birds. His name is Lincoln, and the Philadelphia Eagles fans just call him Link. That is because Lincoln is named for Lincoln Financial Field, the home turf of the Eagles, where Lincoln has flown before every home game this season. We find out more about the Eagle Foundation, Lincoln, and the fight to save American eagles in these United States. And later in the show, we'll find out more about the Eagle Foundation, Lincoln, and the fight to save American eagles right here in these United States. It happens in Tennessee, y'all. For now, let's take a trip through the winter issue of State and Beal. I want to bring y'all a couple of stories from that issue that I absolutely love. Hagy's Catfish Hotel, and 3 great Tennessee places to celebrate the great indoors this winter. Hagy's Catfish Hotel is the full Tennessee ticket, serving amazing food and hospitality on the bank of the Tennessee River since 1938. A ribbon of blacktop traces the seam of the Shiloh National Military Park and takes you back in time and into the lap of classic Tennessee dining and hospitality right on the Tennessee River. Hagy's Catfish Hotel is a slice of Tennessee history served with a side of hush puppies. Hagy has occupied that bottom land on the bank of the river since 1828 and operated a restaurant there since 1938. Today, a third Hagy generation continues to serve up fried catfish, Southern charm, and feel-good doses of nostalgia to regulars and newcomers alike. The tradition makes the hotel one of the oldest family-run restaurants in the country. The hotel began as a shack. It was built by John Hagy, the son of Henry and Polly Hagy, who docked their flatboat and laid claim to the bottomland there in 1828. The shack was used to store cargo from steamboats passing on the river. It was later occupied by Union soldiers during the Battle of Shiloh. John's shack earned the name Catfish Hotel during the early 1930s when Norvin Hagy entertained friends there at cookouts. He became well known for his delicious catfish, hush puppies, and hospitality. Guests who had arrived by riverboat often had to spend the night as the good times pushed into the evening and nightfall made it unsafe to travel the river. No, there's not a place to stay overnight now, as much as I would have liked to. In 1938, Norvin held a political campaign gathering at the site for his old friend Gordon Browning, who was seeking his second term as Tennessee governor. After tasting the catfish and hush puppies, Browning recommended Norvin open a restaurant. With the help of his wife Dorothy and sons Jack and Bob, the restaurant opened and became a success. In 1975, fire destroyed the original building, and the current building opened as the Catfish Hotel a year later. Jim Hagy, the restaurant's current owner and Norvin's grandson, started bussing tables there at age 11, hauling dishes up and down a wobbly ramp that probably wouldn't meet code now, Jim says, to the downstairs kitchen. Back then, he and his family lived on Hagy Lane, that winding road that leads to the restaurant and the river. Except for the hotel and the battlefield, there's not much else around that part of Hardin County. So Hagy and his cousins split their time exploring or working at the restaurant. The trip out there is a central component to the restaurant's vibe. Then when you get there, it's a huge gravel parking lot that just ends at the river. So there's no other errands to run or even think about while you're at the Catfish Hotel. You've gone there and only there on purpose. Getting there and being there is part of the experience. It's a bubble disconnected, a little world of its own that gives visitors room to unwind, enjoy the view, and commune with friends and family over plates of steaming hot planks of perfectly fried Southern-style catfish. Inside Southern elegance meets down-home Southern charm. The waiting room, for which you surely must at peak times, is polished and well appointed, lit with a gorgeous and massive chandelier over darkened hardwood floors. The dining room and almost every other wall surface of the entire restaurant is covered with historic photos of the Catfish Hotel, news clippings, old menus, printed stories, maps of the area, and a host of paintings and souvenirs lovingly collected and curated to fit the space. I love the painting of a Tennessee angler pulling in a catfish and a sign that reads, "Eat until it ouches you." The dining room is bathed in outdoor light streaming in from a wall of windows. The gorgeous view looks out past the parking lot and right onto the Tennessee River. Yes, Hagy's has fried catfish fillets, butter braised lemon pepper and Cajun-style catfish dishes, and even fried catfish tacos. But the restaurant's signature dish is whole fish. These come bone-in, tail-on, and golden brown. The rustic presentation is like dining on a plate from the past. Finding the right knife and fork approach to a whole catfish and taking care to watch for bones slows down the dining process, makes you focus on it, relish the flavors, and elevates the Hagy's experience beyond just a place for a quick bite. Again, it's classic Tennessee dining that leaves no doubt as to why thousands upon thousands have, for decades, made the trek down that remote and winding road. For more, we spoke with Jim Hagy, the current owner of the hotel, and you can find that whole interview over at statenbeal.com. Now let's welcome to the show Jessica Hall. She's the executive director of the American Eagle Foundation located in Kodak, Tennessee.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
We were talking before we hopped on here just what a cool moment this is. And I was telling you how my son's a big Eagles fan. And when we saw the Instagram post with Lincoln flying through there, I thought, man, what a cool Tennessee story.
Oh, yeah. He is a Tennessee Eagle for sure. In fact, practiced at Neyland Stadium for his flights at Lincoln Financial Field.
So y'all have been practicing at Neyland, and I know you were saying your blood runs orange. That's got to be a cool situation.
It was pretty awesome for me just because personally, my father's ashes are scattered on the south end zone of Neyland Stadium. And being able to go there professionally and practice one of our bald eagles and do what we do for education there, that was pretty amazing.
No doubt about that. I can't wait to talk about Lincoln and Challenger before Lincoln. But man, I tell you, when I started looking around at what y'all do at AEF out there and read the history, read the story, and how long y'all have been at this, I mean, you're having a moment now, but the foundation's love of Eagles goes way, way back. And what I really, really loved about it is this is a true Tennessee story. I mean, from East Tennessee, like folks from Dollywood are involved in this story. Folks from Mount Juliet are involved in this story. And there's a falconer from the Memphis Zoo in the story of this organization.
Yeah. So, and originally it all started with a gentleman named Bob Hatcher, who was an agent with Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. And he was very passionate about bald eagles, and he was passionate about protecting them and getting them flying free back into the skies. He hosted some seminars in Nashville, and some folks from Cumberland Wildlife Refuge went there. And then a gentleman who saw a newspaper article about bald eagles that had been shot went there. They learned kind of more about what Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency wanted to do in terms of protecting bald eagles in the state of Tennessee. Out of that, an organization called Save the Eagle was born. And then out of Save the Eagle became American Eagle Foundation.
And y'all do all kinds of great things out there. Has it always been based in Kodak, or was it kind of different places?
Originally, it was based in Nashville, and then relocated to East Tennessee to Dollywood Theme Park, who was one of our early and most prolific sponsors. And they provided an area for us inside their theme park to have a sanctuary for bald eagles that are injured and deemed non-releasable by U.S. Fish and Wildlife. And so we relocated to East Tennessee about 1989, and we've been here ever since.
Wow, 89. And that early step up from Dollywood, as I was reading on your website, was crucial to the success of what is this, great foundation today. And And something that I say all the time, and I hear friends from all over the state say, is there anything Dolly can't do? You know,
I, without Dollywood and without Dolly Parton, we certainly would not be where we are at today.
and boy, it'd be awesome to get Dolly on the show. Dolly, if you're listening, give me a call. I'll put my number in the link down below there. So you got started. How long have you been with American Eagle Foundation?
I've been here for the past 6 years.
Okay.
I was really brought on and tasked with creating an opportunity for American Eagle Foundation to be open to the public. We do a show at Dollywood called the Wings of America Show, which is a fantastic opportunity to see free flying birds and learn about their different habitats. And it has such a fun, what we call edutainment component to it. And then we have a sanctuary there. And we now have a headquarters in Kodak right off of exit 407 where you can come out and meet the birds who fly in that show and see our other birds that are here at headquarters at our campus. We have over 48 acres where we've had over 40 birds here. And then we have the nation's largest bald eagle sanctuary at Dollywood, as well as the Wings of America show.
I mean, it says the American Bald Eagle Foundation. Are y'all the biggest in the country doing what you're doing?
We operate the nation's largest bald eagle sanctuary. We have almost 50 bald eagles, and I think the facility closest to us maybe has 6. So there's a pretty significant divide there.
Yeah.
Our job is just to educate around the bald eagle. We believe that conservation and protection are byproducts of great education and providing opportunities for people to come up close and interact with the bald eagle. And we think that will inspire them to want to protect and conserve this majestic animal.
And to clarify, did you say 15 or 50?
50.
Wow, that is amazing. Where do these birds come from? How do y'all get them?
All over the United States. We have birds from Alaska, we have birds from Florida, we have birds from New York. We have Challenger, the eagle, he's from Louisiana. We joke that when he walks, he's got a little Creole in him. But yeah, we get birds from all over the U.S. So whenever a bald eagle is injured and deemed non-releasable by U.S. Fish and Wildlife, they then reach out to organizations to place those eagles in the care of sanctuaries. And we're one of those sanctuaries. And like I said, we try never to turn down a bald eagle. We try to take all of the bald eagles that we can, simply because just like we would take care of our nation's injured veterans and injured soldiers, we feel like it's important to take care of our nation's national symbol when it's injured and provide a place where it can live out the best possible life with enrichment and the right vet care, healthy handling.
So when they go there, I assume you have a staff of experts and professionals who know how to care for these birds?
Absolutely. We have avian care specialists, and they all have backgrounds in wildlife biology or animal husbandry. And then we have an incredibly dedicated vet who is also from the University of Tennessee. His name is Dr. Michael Jones. He provides our biannual physicals. We make sure to do biannual physicals on all of our birds to make sure they're maintaining the best possible health, the best possible kill scores, the right feather coloring. So yeah, we definitely do our best to provide the most up-to-date care. And in fact, as part of our big expansion, we now have the nation's largest aviaries for these bald eagles. And they're built in a way that for the eagles who are still flying, meaning that their injury doesn't keep them from flying, we have these really unique aviaries that have a turn radius in them so that the eagle can exercise all the muscles necessary for flight.
These guys aren't sitting around like at a zoo somewhere. It's almost, I'm thinking like the elephant sanctuary down in Humboldt. You know, they have a big place to roam around. Is that accurate?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's accurate.
That's really, really amazing. You were talking about them as an American symbol, and I remember being a kid, you know, going to Dale Hollow Lake and kind of, you know, getting out into the country and seeing bald eagles just out in Tennessee. And I guess maybe I didn't know at that time that there were so many. Fast forward many years later on a kayak in Reelfoot Lake, and there's bald eagles all over there. You see them occasionally up and down the Mississippi River. I mean, these birds are in Tennessee natively, right?
They are native to East Tennessee and to all of Tennessee, really. And Tennessee has some of the best habitat for bald eagles because they are attracted to places that have prolific waterways, rivers, streams, creeks. And Tennessee sure does have that with the Tennessee River.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, I know we can talk about this all day. Recently, y'all kind of got this higher profile with the work that Lincoln has been doing with the Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But let's talk about his predecessor just a minute. Challenger flew over 300 sporting events out there, flew the inaugurations of Barack Obama and George W. Bush. This guy got around. Challenger got around.
He did. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles several times. In fact, that was his first NFL stadium flight. And then he retired from flight in 2018. And his retirement ceremony was held at Lincoln Financial Field there with the Philadelphia Eagle. They gave him a very loving tribute, and he is kind of immortalized on a mural that's right outside the stadium, which is really, really cool. Bald eagles in human care can live longer than how they live in the wild. And in the wild, their lifespan generally is between 15 and 25 years. But in human care, they can live up to 50. And Challenger develops cataract. And so that's one of the reasons that we retired him from flying. And he recently underwent very successful cataract surgery at the University of Tennessee. His sight has been restored and he is as spicy as ever, but he's still earned his ability to retire and live out his life eating salmon and trout and flying around his aviary and shredding rabbit fur. He loves to shred up rabbit fur.
Well, well done, Challenger. A much-deserved retirement. And that's amazing. They were able to do cataract surgery on an eagle at UT. Was that in Knoxville or Memphis?
In Knoxville, yeah.
Okay.
At the Knoxville campus, they did a fantastic job on him. And then Lincoln just kind of took up the mantle
Right.
where Challenger left off. And this year, when the Philadelphia Eagles invited us out, we were able to take Lincoln, and he just quickly earned a spot into the hearts of the fans there. They embraced him with open arms, and they kind of shortened his name to Link, which is also a term they use to refer to their stadium. And so it's so cool when we take him up on the second deck and we release him to fly. All the spectators around will cheer for him and say, "Go, Link, go!" And it's just so incredible for us to have that moment.
Right. I mean, how wild is that? Now, I saw some kind of news report from Philadelphia, and they were talking about Lincoln. So the way that they get up on the second deck, there's a yellow box down on the field, and then Lincoln knows there's a treat down there. Is that how that works?
Yeah, so we use a combination of modern training techniques, such as a bird first philosophy, meaning that we take all of our indicators from the bird. If the eagle doesn't want to fly, we don't force that flight out of that eagle. If the eagle doesn't want to step up onto our glove or step down into the kennel, we don't force that behavior. We let the eagle decide. So we take Lincoln up onto the second deck, and like you said, eagles can see over a mile away, and so he decides that yellow platform. He knows that's where he wants to go. We also have a lure that we use, which is a thing that we kind of swing around that is also a visual cue to him. But he really, honestly, doesn't even need the lure. We can tell from being a trained bird handlers that he immediately kind of sights that platform. And he keeps his eyes on that platform the whole time. And it's his choice to soar. So a lot of times we'll catch a nice wind thermal in the stadium, do a couple of loops, which the band's absolutely love. And then he'll come down to that platform when he's ready. And we always have a treat waiting on him, just like you would for a domesticated animal like a dog or a cat, except his treat is generally a piece of trout or maybe a rat. He loves rats. So, that's kind of how we do that. We embrace modern training technique along with falconry techniques to really give him an opportunity to choose his destination. And, Challenger, kind of circling back around to Challenger real quick, Challenger was the first bird ever trained to free fly in stadiums. And a lot of people, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Vols fan, but a lot of people assume that that mantle resides in Auburn University with
Right.
War Eagle. War Eagle didn't fly for the first time until 2000. Challenger was flying back in the 90s. So Challenger was the first bald eagle ever trained to be an educational ambassador through flight. And that's ultimately what we do. We do that to educate the public that, hey, the bald eagle is your national symbol. It belongs to you. Also, that the bald eagle is off the endangered species list, but there's still threats that face the bald eagle today. And we have a sanctuary for those injured bald eagles. And this is a great way for all of those messages to kind of collide in a stadium flight.
Well, Jessica Hall, she's the Chief Executive Officer at the American Eagle Foundation out there in East Tennessee, doing great work with our national symbol, making sure that they stay in the skies and in the American hearts. But Jessica, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And thank you for all your hard work.
No, thank you for having us. We appreciate you.
And now we want to celebrate the great indoors. We found 3 great thrills without the chills in Tennessee this winter. King's Dining and Entertainment, that's over in Franklin. Now, if you can't find fun at King's, there may be no fun to be had. The massive restaurant entertainment spot offers 24 lanes of bowling and 6 lanes of mini bowling for small kids. Turn up the lighting and sound system, and the alleys plunge into fun cosmic bowling mode. More family fun, King's has a video arcade too. And King's puts its food first on the front row. Its scratch-made kitchen is chef-driven with starters like buffalo chicken wontons, a whole slate of pizzas and tacos, a bourbon barbecue burger, and more. Diners can enjoy all of these in one of 3 premium bars on a 60-seat patio with fire pit and a beer garden, or right there at their bowling lane. Sports fans will love Jay's Sports Grill with a full bar, 3 pool tables, and darts. 1 giant screen television ensures you won't miss a moment of the big game. And the restaurant's 13 other televisions ensures you can catch any game of your choice. For date nights and late nights, head to the Whiskey Room for live music and karaoke. Discovery Park of America is over in Union City. From dinosaurs and David Crockett to NASCAR and NASA, the Discovery Park of America has a bit of everything for everyone. The world-class 100,000 square foot museum and 50-acre heritage park is located in Union City in Northwest Tennessee. It's about 64 miles from Jackson, 179 miles from Nashville, and 358 miles from Knoxville. It all opened in 2013, spurred by a $100 million donation from Robert and Jenny Kirkland, founders of the Kirkland's chain of decor stores, as a way to give back to their Union City hometown. Inside the massive museum are 10 exhibit halls focused on space, art, technology, transportation, Native American history, the military, natural history, regional history, science, and more. Or bundle up and head outside for 50 acres of fun featuring a man-made river, waterfalls, bridges, and more. Want to see it all but want to stay warm? Buy a ticket to the park's signature Cooper Tower. Ride up 13 stories in 22 seconds and peep Kentucky on a clear day from the tallest structure in Northwest Tennessee. If all that has you hungry, grab a seat at Saban's Cafe located at the park's main entrance. There, kids can get corn dogs, nuggets, a PBJ, and more. For adults, Saban's has a barbecue sandwich, a BLT pizza, and more. Since you can't really get in the water this winter, why not go under the sea? Xperian Ocean Journey opened last winter in Sevierville and offers guests an all-digital deep dive into the enchanting world of marine life. The sensory-engaging voyage through the ocean is the first of its kind in the area. It's all completely indoors and suitable for all ages, perfect for a shared experience for family outings. Audio and video designers from around the globe united to create an underwater voyage by using the same visual effects created by those behind Game of Thrones, Wonder Woman, and Westworld, among many others. With this technology, you can travel below the sea's surface to learn what goes on with some of the most amazing animals in the world, like a life-size humpback whale, giant battling squids, a fast thresher shark, lifelike dancing sea lions, and more. Step into Xperian's 3D domed theater to feel like you are walking among the creatures of the ocean. The theater's 40-foot curved 3D screen will bring you face-to-face with exotic fish, sharks, and more. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode, folks. Thank y'all so much for listening to State and Beal. We'll see y'all back here in Tennessee very soon. State and Beal was written, produced, and hosted by me, Toby Sells. Our winter issue is on the digital stands right now, so head on over there and check it out and subscribe. I'll give your inbox a little Tennessee glow up every week and make sure that you don't miss out on our next issue, the spring issue, which is coming up in March. And if you want to advertise in the magazine or sponsor this podcast in the meantime, I would love to talk to you. Hit me up at toby@stateandbeal.com, TOBY@stateandbeal.com. All right, folks. Well, thank y'all so much.